Orphaned children in Ethiopia is one of the largest issues globally. So how can we be upstanders to solve this problem? My family has been involved in adopting from Ethiopia. I've personally experienced being an upstander for this issue. Not only has my family been involved, but also many other families and organizations. There are also thousands of groups that allow people to donate money to help support orphans and aid in keeping orphanages going, such as the World Children's Program. The term orphan refers to a child with one parent or a child with no parents. An orphan often faces abuse and typically has no legal or social support. They are without a home, living on the streets until taken into an orphanage. The child's potential to access even the most basic of rights to education, healthcare, food, and shelter are destroyed when they become orphans. The most common reason for this issue is poverty. Because of poverty, both parents have a much greater chance of getting sick because they do not have clean water or proper sanitary. Also, HIV or AIDS commonly causes parental death and it leaves their children as orphans. Another large cause is mothers dying during childbirth, which leaves hundreds of thousands of children as orphans each day without a parent. Then the child has malnutrition because it did not receive proper nutrition the day of its birth. Lastly, children are left as orphans because of unwanted pregnancies or violence towards women. The babies are then just abandoned. Africa has both the highest number and highest share of orphaned children in the world. As it stands, there are currently 150 million orphans in the world. According to USAID, Ethiopia has 5.5 million orphans, about 15% of the total child population in Ethiopia. If an orphan is lucky enough to be taken into the orphanage, the life there is not much better. They do have shelter and food, but the living conditions are just as bad. Bugs infest the beds and the clothes, and clean water is still not a thing. Also, the concept of having no parents is still there because there is not enough nannies to fulfill the need of all the children. The orphanages are very overcrowded, which creates a very unsanitary place. The many organizations involved in helping orphans are considered great upstanders within this issue. The World's Children Program is the one I wish to explain upon. According to the website, World's Children was founded by Edwin and Mabel Purviance in 1965. They wanted to create a living memorial for an infant they lost at childbirth. Realizing the grief they felt was similar to the loss and helplessness felt by children who lose their parents, the Purviances started World's Children to support orphan children in developing countries. The program serves children in India, Ethiopia, and Guatemala. They strive to form a safe and loving childhood for the children. They also wish for the children to complete their education and live a forever happy life. They accept open donations, and with that money they buy supplies and use the donated money to help out in orphanages. Since 1965, the program has been an upstander towards orphaned children. In 2012, my family adopted a girl and a boy from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, one being sexually abused at age 5 and the other being left alone for hours on end when an infant. Because my family chose to be upstanders, they do not anymore face those issues. Even though it is only a little help to the issue as a whole, adoption was a large benefit to these two children. So what can the rest of the world do to be an upstander? First of all, children can be prevented from becoming orphans through sustainable community development targeted at improving the overall health standards, food security, and livelihoods of individuals and communities. The first step is to improve the conditions for them. Secondly, adoption into another safe, permanent, and loving family is an appropriate response to this issue. However, adoption is not for every family. When adoption is not available for children, there can be more funding towards the efforts to locate, identify, and return children back to families. And, of course, you can always donate. The million other families who have supported, adopted, and helped orphans have been upstanders, and this is our greatest step towards making a change.